Hello, my name is Cher Broxson. I am a student at Boise State University, and today I will be discussing Samsung's response regarding the Galaxy Note 7. I'll be giving you a brief overview of this communication crisis. We will also be discussing Samsung's communication during this time, as well as tying this back to our communication theory, discussing the results, and applying this to the workplace. So let's get started. Samsung unveiled its yearly flagship phone in August of 2016. Less than a month after the device launch, Samsung suspended sales of the Galaxy Note 7 due to the device catching fire and posing a safety hazard to its customers. Samsung issued a replacement phone for those who purchased it, along with a software update. After it was reported that the replacement device also had the same defect, Samsung announced the official recall and stopped production of the device for good. So, let's talk about Samsung's communication. Recall number 1 was a voluntary recall. Samsung apologized for the defective phone and suspended sales, stating that safety was their number one priority. They used minimalization, mortification, as well as compensation during this time. Customers who exchanged their phone were offered a free phone exchange regardless of the condition of the phone and a $25 incentive to do so. Soon after, Samsung issued a statement about the ban of the phone on aircrafts, how they were expediting the exchange of phones, and performing more tests to determine its root cause. Samsung kept customers in the know about the progress they made to get all the phones exchanged and off the market in the interest of customer safety. Samsung communicated that 90% of the phones exchanged, customers still opted for a Samsung device. Samsung leveraged their brand loyalty here to ensure customers that they were still a trustworthy brand. Samsung's initial response to the phones catching fire proved to be sending an unclear message, as reports soon came in about the replacement phones catching fire as well. Samsung apologized again and communicated quickly before ultimately stopping production of the phone and discontinuing it for good. So how does this link to our crisis communication theory? Samsung utilized several image restoration strategies to recover from the faulty phone. The nature of the attack that prompted the communication crisis was the accusation that Samsung released a faulty phone that put people in danger. Samsung tried to minimize the negative feelings associated with this wrongful act as a strategy to reduce offensiveness. It was perceived by customers and the media that Samsung did not do its due diligence in testing the functionality of the phone before releasing it to the public. According to Benoit, perceptions are more important than reality to image restoration. Samsung chose mortification, compensation, minimization, and corrective action to resolve this crisis. The results of communication. So, Samsung's initial statement about the cause of the phone's faults were very vague. This made many customers question if they really knew the root cause of the defects and if they had gotten to the root of the issue. The end result was that Samsung had to go back and apologize again to get their phone off the market altogether in the interest of safety and to protect their image from further issues. Because Samsung was not able to accurately identify the issue until after discontinuing the phone, their flagship phone failed and Samsung lost a lot of profit in 2016. While Samsung's communication was consistent, it ultimately failed due to taking corrective action that didn't resolve this crisis the first time. So how do we apply this to the workplace? What we can take from Samsung's communication crisis is to be prepared to communicate with accurate information. The more we know about the problem and the more we communicate about it, the better our image looks. We want to make sure that our research is complete and thorough before using corrective action to prevent a second incident, much like Samsung's. Being transparent with information as it becomes available does help your image, but it needs to be clear and concise. Thank you for listening.